Welcome back to the Tiger Gear Hanger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about some G.I. Joe classified stuff. I want to start out talking about some pickups that I've gotten recently and just kind of talking about availability of the stuff that's showing up currently right now. Then I'm also going to talk about something that's probably going to upset a lot of people, and that is, of course, the ill for eels and this Cobra eel. Now, I'm going to get into the fact that it's back up on Amazon right now, but you're really not going to like it. You're probably going to be really upset and angry about it. Get ready for a flood of KO versions of Cobra Commander. The alternate versions of Cobra Commander are going to be flooding the market pretty soon. So that's got its pluses and minuses, good and bad points on that. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm also going to discuss how to get some deals on the Super 7 Ultimates. I know Super 7 Ultimates is not G.I. Joe classified, but I do believe there's quite a bit of overlap between classified collectors and Ultimates collectors. I don't think there's a defining line there. But anyway, we're going to get to talk about this and more coming up. Okay, so getting into some pickups, I do want to say a few things about this before I get into a pre-recorded segment that I'm going to just show. And with that, I'm seeing these showing up. It feels like they're all coming in single pack cases, which is better, in my opinion, than assortments, because let's say you get 6 shipwrecks on a shelf. Now, not very many people are going to want to come in and buy 6 shipwrecks at once, so it's easier for people to get. So with that, that makes it a whole lot easier. But anyhow, we're going to get into rolling this, and I'm just going to go through each one of these and kind of where you can find them, and availability, how I got mine, and where else I'm seeing them. Okay, so I want to get into talking about all of these pickups real quick, and I want to say some good things. First of all, it's pretty good that we actually have this product. We're able to get it at retail. I pre-ordered most of my stuff from BBTS, and with that, I did overpay. I think they're like $26 on BBTS, and Walmart's getting some of them in, so I know Walmart is getting in 2 of them very consistently. I keep seeing these at Walmart a lot, and so with that, that's pretty good. It's good to get them at Walmart. They're only $21.99 at Walmart, or at least my Walmarts. So that's a much better deal, and so with that, I kind of wish I wouldn't have bought them all at BBTS, but then again, we're kind of in that phase where we don't know if we'll see it at retail, and sometimes they might just short produce these and short run these. We're going to talk about the eel in a bit, but this is definitely a good time to be eel to get your hands on some stuff, and maybe down the road they'll be on clearance and I'll get a second one. But with that, these are pretty readily available, and let's move into some of these other ones. Okay, so these 2 are a little bit more challenging to get. It seems like they're more popular, the Copperhead and the Torpedo. I don't know if that's just me. I know Torpedo and Copperhead are not really troop builders, but you could probably get several of the torpedoes. It would make sense to kind of have them go up against your eels, but I guess for me it's just 1 torpedo for 1 eel, because that's all I'm going to get, but I still haven't gotten my eel yet. Anyhow, I do think they look great. I like the way the packaging looks, but I still don't like the fact you can't see the figure, and I really look forward to getting back to proper packaging on these. But these are showing up at Target, so I was able to get an extra one at Target for these because they were kind of hard to find at retail. But I also want to say that I did order all this on BBTS too, so that is frustrating. Anyway, I don't know if you were seeing the same thing out there with these being kind of hard to get in your retail or selling through a lot faster than the rest of the different characters that are out in this current wave. So I'm guessing these 2 are the Target exclusives, and good news, it seems like they're real easy to get, and it's almost to a point where people complain about these because they're too easy to get, which is, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's really good to be able to walk in and grab a Dusty and the Tiger Force, and then grab a Python Crimson Guard in the Python Patrol get up. So I'm really happy that these are pretty easy to get your hands on, and this is one of those things that I didn't miss out. I didn't have to pre-order it or anything. I didn't even try to pre-order it on the Target app, or if I did, I forgot, and they always cancel it, so it doesn't really matter. So having them readily available at retail is a really good thing. So I think I screwed up and I ordered Bazooka from both BBTS and Hasbro Pulse. You know that's going to happen. The worst part is that Hasbro Pulse, it's just, they'll send you an email and you got to sift through all your pre-orders to try to find the one that you want to cancel if you want to cancel it. And so that's good and it's bad. Here's the thing. With this guy, I haven't seen him at retail at all. I've never seen him at retail. If I did, it might have been at a GameStop, and I was like, well, I already got him and I don't want to pay that price. So with that, I sure I overpaid on the 2 of these. I do want to keep one sealed and one to open. I know with the packaging, I was wanting to boycott that whole collecting mentality. but that is how I've kind of always collected these, so I'm still kind of sticking with that. But I am favoring the Super 7, and the problem is that there's so many classifieds out. I don't think Super 7 will ever catch classified. There's just no way they could. And with that, you still got to stay up with classified, or you just have to wait for like 10 years. Scrap Iron's a general release, and with that, I do want to say that it's pretty good looking. I'm glad that I was able to get it, and I did cancel my BBTS one, which I think eventually BBTS is going to start getting upset about people canceling a lot of their pre-orders, doing the thing that I'm trying to do, and if I find it cheaper in the wild, like at Target, getting the 5% off of the Target card, and just a lower price, a couple bucks cheaper, it's much better for me. I'm happier about that. So anyhow, I do think that, I think 45 bucks is a bit much though. Still, I kind of feel like this should have been a little cheaper, but I haven't opened any of these yet, and I'm not sure. I'm not quite to the opening on these. I kind of stopped opening them because I've been boxing up a lot of the old ones, so I'm in kind of a limbo when it comes to that. Okay, so I want to get and talk about the Cobra eels. Now, I did make a video talking about eels, and the problem with it being an Amazon exclusive and a true builder. And with Amazon exclusive, there's not a store you can go into. You can't luckily walk into a Target and there's a case on the shelf. You can't just luck out at a Target. And so with that, you're kind of stuck at the mercy of if it comes in stock at Amazon or not. And so it's way worse as an Amazon exclusive, in my opinion, unless Amazon's going to go full bore and just order a million of these bad boys, which they're not. So you do see people true building this, 20 and 30 of them at a time. And so I don't have any problem with that, except problem with the fact that we can't get our hands on it. I have one coming from Hasbro Pulse whenever that thing shows up, but it's back in stock at Amazon, but not the way you think. So this is third-party sellers. It does ask for you to click on all buying options, and you click on that, you get this. This sucks. This sucks real bad. The $76, $79, this third-party sellers. Now, I'm wondering how many that they bought, or if they had some sort of secret because they're an Amazon seller, if they had a backdoor way into getting the product when we couldn't. I don't know. But anyhow, this is the reality we live in, and I really thought once we saw these show up that it would come back in stock. But I was refreshing it a few times a day, and I still never saw it back in stock as in the regular price, $25, the low price, $25. But anyhow, this is continuation of a problem. Will this figure forever be elusive? I don't know if it'll quite be as bad as, say, like the Zartan SDCC exclusive, but it's still going to be a real pain for people to get their hands on. Still don't have mine from Pulse yet. Okay, so these are starting to show up, the KOs. People are getting them from AliExpress, and I will show that here in a bit. And so I've got a lot to say about this. So they have the Regal Cobra Commander, and then they have the Snake Supreme Cobra Commander. And so with that, people who weren't collecting this line back when those were out are just out. They're like, this was a very limited run. I think they put one of them back up. I don't think they ever put the Regal Cobra Commander back up, but I think they put the Snake Supreme Cobra Commander back up for order. Either way, there are people pointing out differences between the two, but I'm hearing they have really good quality. They are almost identical, but there are some very minor differences. I don't know about the Regal Cobra Commander, about the differences, but I'm hearing they're very, very close, like very close to the original, which is going to be a challenge to tell the difference. And so obviously that's the problem with KOs. I don't have a problem with it. I own these and I paid whatever the original retail price was. These are going to be, they say about $25 a piece, but as AliExpress starts to cannibalize themselves and people start lowering their prices, and if you order them in bulk quantities, I'm curious when eBay starts getting flooded with these, and they might already be, I just really haven't checked, but eBay might start getting flooded with these. The bigger problem is if you're thinking you're buying an original and you're getting the KO, that could be an issue, but you still won't really notice much of the difference. So what I'm seeing is the chest plate on this is actually darker for the original than the KO, and I truly don't think that the pictures on AliExpress are showing the actual KO product. I think they're actually showing the original product, but you're going to get the KO. So there's a lot of shadiness that goes on with the KOs. And as someone that buys KOs and doesn't care, and I'd much rather have them at a cheaper price, I do want to point out that this is going to cause some frustration in the collector community. But there's always the one good point and that good point is that you get them cheaper. You can get one of these for less than $100. So that is a good point for a collector who wants to finish this out. Now, I start to wonder if this is going on, are we going to get the Zartan, the SDCC Zartan? Are we going to get some of these other ones? Are they going to be brave and bold enough to give some of these other ones that are commanding a lot of money? Are we going to get the 00 Snake Eyes? I mean, really, it would make sense to knock off the 00 Snake Eyes because of the fact that so many people didn't get it, so many people want it, and they want to have a completist with the numbers, even though it's going to be like it's going to be Marvel Legend numbers in 10 years. You're going to be looking at 1,000+ figures. It's going to be insane, but people are still going to want that 00 Snake Eyes, which I'm kind of on the fence. If I can get a KO for like $25, I probably would. But anyhow, that's the KO situation. Be aware of this. If you're buying one of these, you need to know if you're trying to get an official off eBay for $100, and you might be getting a KO, so you need to start looking into that. Okay, so over on TNI News, there is a picture that was provided by somebody by the name of Jason Yu to show in-hand pictures of the new grunt that's coming. So obviously I don't have it in hand. I haven't really seen very many people talking about it, but it seems like a pretty generic buck, and I think that I guess you take the boring grunt figure and turn him into something a little more interesting for G.I. Joe Classified, but still having that standard look. It kind of looks a lot like the original character too. So I like that. What I do want to point out about this picture and why I think this is important and even worth even talking about is the fact that the head sculpt looks pretty good. Like, this isn't a Falcon head sculpt, so I like that. And so maybe the Falcon's a one-off, but you get different helmets and stuff with this, so that looks pretty cool, looks pretty good for what I view as one of the most boring figures ever made in the original line. And for Classified, it'll work. Now I got 2 tips. These are my 2 tips for if you're collecting the Super 7 Ultimates. I know some people don't like the Super 7 Ultimates. I love them. So there it is. So I'm sure I offended a lot of people. I heard a lot of feelings there. But anyhow, I feel like a chump though paying full price for Wave 1 when Wave 2 comes out. About $9 cheaper on average here. So there's Entertainment Earth. And Entertainment Earth is a little bit different than BBTS because they supply other resellers, I think, more than BBTS does. So they're big on selling in bulk, selling entire waves, selling cases and cases of stuff. And so that's my understanding of it because they do have a separate business account set up. Now, if you look down there, the Wave 2 that's already out and about isn't marked down yet. So you just give them some time, and any excess inventory they're going to mark down. And so here's another way to look at it. They have the Dent and Dean special, and I've never been able to get this. I don't really understand how people are grabbing these Dent and Dean specials down here. So $41.24, which is still a pretty good price. That's not that bad. And so I think that they're put up at like 5 in the morning or something while everyone's asleep. And so somebody's like setting their alarm and being there at 5 in the morning every morning to maybe snag those Dent and Dean specials up. So these are the boxes that are beat up or just not worth selling as collector grade. So with that, there's only one better way to do it, and that's eBay. So there's a lot of people on eBay that get these and for whatever reason sell them for like $30, and I've seen them go as cheap as $25 per figure, or someone sell a whole wave for $100 or something like that. And so that's another way to do it if you want to watch eBay all the time. You can get these cheaper. I really personally still think these are only $30 figures. I don't think they're worth twice as much as a G.I. Joe Classified. I think they're worth $5, maybe even $10 more than a G.I. Joe Classified, but not double the price. I don't like the price, but I do like the figures. So one last thing I want to say about that eel, I want to get back to that topic, is that I thought that the eel itself would have more availability like Kamakura, but Kamakura is turning into some sort of a green algae that can't be erased from Amazon, and they've got it marked down to $30. It's going to get even cheaper, and they had a real cheap sale on it once, like 15 or so. I don't know. I've heard people talking about a real cheap sale. I never actually saw it, but I don't think we're going to see that with these eels. So anyway, this is a quick update, some stuff going on with G.I. Joe Classified. Hopefully it was helpful, and also, what are you looking forward to the most in G.I. Joe Classified? Are you looking forward to the His Tank? Looking forward to some individual figure releases? Your favorite character coming up or something along those lines? I'm looking forward to the Trouble Bubble, but it's still not out yet. And so with that, I look forward to a lot of things. I'll make a lot of videos about stuff when it comes in, and I am still excited about the line. Like, subscribe, Kadir Hanger out.